Assalamu alaikum. Today on Nuran Academy, we discuss the future of energy through the lens of Islamic stewardship. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah. We're standing at a really critical crossroads right now. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into a challenge that, honestly, defines our entire era. It's something that touches every single part of our modern lives, the global energy crisis. So what if I told you that the single greatest threat to our future, to all of us, isn't what we usually think of? I mean, we're not talking about a foreign invasion or some asteroid hurtling through space. No, this danger, it's woven right into the fabric of our daily lives. It's much, much closer to home than you might think. It's the very thing that built our modern world. I'm talking about energy itself, the power that lights up our cities, that connects us all across the globe. Well, it's become a kind of double-edged sword, and now it's putting everything we've built, everything we depend on, at risk. So that leaves us at a really critical decision point. We just can't keep going down our current path. It's completely unsustainable. But what if there was another way? A path that could lead us to harness the power of the stars themselves. And this is really the choice we have in front of us. On one side, you've got the familiar path of fossil fuels. And we know what that means, right? A legacy of high carbon emissions, fuel that's going to run out, and long-term waste that'll be a problem for generations. But on the other side, there's this incredible alternative, fusion energy. We're talking no carbon emissions, nearly unlimited fuel, and no long-term waste. It's a pretty stark contrast. Okay, so what exactly is this revolutionary process? Well, in a nutshell, nuclear fusion is like recreating a tiny star right here on Earth. Now, you've probably heard of nuclear fission. That's the one that splits heavy, unstable atoms apart. It works, but it's a volatile process, and it leaves behind all that long-lasting waste. Fusion is the complete opposite. It joins light atoms together, releasing an incredible amount of clean energy. It's the exact same reaction that powers our sun and all the stars in the sky. And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is happening right now. You've got major breakthroughs all over the world. In France, there's the ITR project that's got over 30 nations collaborating on the world's biggest fusion experiment ever. Then you have brilliant minds at places like MIT developing these powerful new magnets to make reactors smaller, more efficient. And on top of all that, private startups are jumping in, really accelerating the whole timeline for commercial fusion. This completely changes the conversation. For the scientific community, this is shifting from some distant dream to an approaching reality. The consensus now is pretty clear. Fusion is no longer impossible. It's just inevitable. It's not a question of if anymore. It's a question of when. Now, what's so fascinating is how this whole scientific pursuit, this race for clean energy, aligns so perfectly with the core principle of our faith. You see, for a Muslim, this isn't just about cool new technology. It's about fulfilling a very real, sacred responsibility. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us He has produced you from the earth and settled you upon it. This verse, it establishes a sacred duty for us. It's the whole concept of khilafah. We aren't the owners of this world. We are its guardians, its caretakers. We've been entrusted with the huge responsibility of maintaining the balance and justice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala established within it. And that stewardship, that khilafah, is directly tied to the concept of amanah, the sacred trust. Think about it. Every single resource, including energy and the planet itself, is part of this trust. So when we damage the earth with pollution, when we exhaust these finite fuels, we're actually betraying that trust. That's why pursuing an energy source that's clean, abundant, and safe like fusion isn't just a good idea. It is a direct fulfillment of our duty to protect the amanah for all the generations that come after us. And this whole idea of stewardship, it's not some new concept. It's actually a revival of a really powerful legacy of innovation and service from deep within our tradition. This principle of using knowledge to serve humanity echoes all throughout our golden age. Just think of the incredible water systems that were pioneered for communities, or the early windmills that harnessed wind power, even the sustainable agricultural techniques they developed. These were all guided by a simple but profound principle. Does this benefit people? These weren't projects for profit or fame. They were built for the public good. And that's exactly the spirit we're being called to reclaim today. But of course, with this kind of power comes an even greater responsibility. Because technology alone is never enough, right? It has to be guided by our ethics. And that brings us to a really pressing question. Who is going to control all of this unlimited clean energy? I mean, is this incredible breakthrough going to be something that finally bridges global divides? Or will it just create new ones? Is it going to be shared equitably to help everyone? Or will it be monopolized, making the inequalities we already see even worse? Ultimately, the real test of this technology isn't in the engineering. It's in our character. The question isn't just, can we build it? The real question is, how will we use it? Will we wield it with the mercy and justice that our faith commands? And answering these huge moral questions, well, that's going to require a whole new generation of innovators. This really is a direct call to all the thinkers, the builders, and the leaders within our Ummah. The challenges we're facing need a new kind of leader. We need energy innovators who have iman. We need scientists with a conscience. We need leaders who see the earth as the trust it is, not just a mine to be exploited. We need builders who are guided by their obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is how seeking knowledge can become one of the highest forms of worship, when it's done for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in service to His creation. Our predecessors, they changed the world. So the question for us right now is, what will you build? Presented and created by Nuran Studio.